Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here. I am very excited that Johanna Crichton is here with me today. How are you, Johanna?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
It's awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more around your story, your business journey as well, because you haven't sat still for long. You are one of those brilliant women that I know in business that is able to cover a lot of ground. And so you are an executive coach, you are a positive education facilitator, you're a high performance coach as well for teams. You have over 25 years of corporate staff training experience. And you've worked with brands like Barclays Bank Singapore and many others as well. So tell me a little bit about your journey and your story, how you got started in business, Johanna.
Well, I like the sound of me. Thank you very much for a beautiful introduction. Let's see. So I've been working in education for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And within secondary and tertiary education and across the globe. So I started in Jakarta, I moved to India, London, Milan, Kuala Lumpur, and a long-term stint in Singapore.
I'm exhausted just hearing you.
I know.
Yeah.
And so through international education and the roles that I had, I was responsible for a lot of facilitation, training of teachers within the schools and certifying teachers as language teachers and class practitioners, and then moving into the positive psychology space and well-being. And then the company I was working for expanded that to online through their global network of schools. And that's where I started to get excited. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I wrapped up my contract after a long stint in the Australian International School in Singapore. And I certified as an executive coach to formalize the work I've been doing and to give myself credibility as well.
Yeah.
Set up my own company here in Singapore called Beyond Coaching.
Yeah.
And started to reach out to my network through my business network, because I'm also an entrepreneur with an 80-seater restaurant here in Singapore.
Which you're at today as well. A little bit of the behind-the-scenes action there. It's great to see.
Exactly. So I'm the sole owner of Plonk in Serangoon Gardens. It's an Australian-style casual dining restaurant. Yep. And so I have a broad network through education and the restaurant business, and then built from there.
Great. And I love that your experience is so diverse, not only across regions, like internationally, but also the jump from sort of the hospitality and running restaurant style businesses to also then running coaching businesses as well. Like they're quite different in nature, which is really cool. But I guess the common thread there is people, and managing people and training people like you have over the years as well. And so I'd love to hear a little bit around what was that decision like for you to go from, working for other people, running your restaurants, to then saying, I'm actually going to grow my own coaching business and really start to formalize that. What was that decision like for you, and why did you make that decision?
It's a good question, because it hasn't been easy. Because I'm an entrepreneur within the restaurant industry, I know how much hard work it is. I know that the responsibility and the agency and the constant sort of workload is heavy, and with you 7 days a week. But I've also learned quite a few skills and strategies through that small business enterprise that I've had. For over 15 years, I've been running restaurants. So I sort of got into the swing of living and managing that without as much reactionary behavior, and being a bit calmer and more professional as time went on.
The ebbs and flows of business, hey?
Yeah, so I've got a bit of experience in that. But it was a big leap going from a monthly paid job where I had that security, and I have 3 children, so I carry a lot of responsibility in my life, and I'm proud of that. But yeah, it was a big leap. I jumped because I wanted to be remote.
Yep.
I wanted to be able to manage my own life and my own time and where I could be, especially with my children in Melbourne. My business here, I wanted to be able to move back and forth.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to do my special things like yoga and running and my lifestyle of choice, and still be very productive and make money. And I also wanted to be creative and build on my strengths, because I felt really, high and excited when I was facilitating within education. And I do love working with people, and I've learned a lot through my own lifestyle about how I bring myself back and how I become more resilient and how I step forward when things get difficult. So I sort of reassessed myself in my final year as a educator, and not that I have finished, by the way, I'm still going every day, but as within that company. And I thought, I'm actually, quite experienced personally in resilience and well-being. And I have lived it, and it is my authentic self. So if I can interweave that into my job and, share my life experiences with others, it can make a positive change, and I can actually do something with meaning. And that's very important to me.
Yeah, I love that, being able to actually have a bit of a life outside of your business as well. Like you said, doing things that you find really enjoyable and are taking care of your own well-being as well. And then also teaching that to others through the work that you do too is really cool. And for when you were first sort of starting and making that transition, you are definitely not new to business. You have a ton of business experience behind you, as you said, which also gave you a lot of skills to do this. But what were some of the things, or maybe some of the frustrations in the early days in setting up your coaching business that perhaps you didn't expect?
Quite a few. The administration. So just, I suppose, all that, like setting up the bank account and registering the company and organizing marketing and getting my website going and invoices and, all that. I just was like, really? And I didn't know whether to outsource immediately or try it myself. In a way, I'm glad I did do it myself originally, because I need to be all over what's happening there and then outsource afterwards. But yeah, that was a big challenge for me. And I was sort of teetering on going, I kept getting job offers as well. So I was like, oh, it would be so easy if I just took one and this could all go away. So that was a big challenge. The admin, practical, red tape, getting myself going, making myself professional with my clients as well, and making sure I was, doing what I said I would do. So after a coaching session, following up, making sure my invoices and payment system was on time, all that stuff I found really hard.
Yeah, I find that really interesting, because when we are, coaches and consultants, a lot of the time we love just working with our clients, right? We love delivering and being in those coaching conversations. And then it's almost like we have to go, okay, well, I'm not just a coach anymore. Now I have to be head of sales, and now I have to be head of marketing, and now I have to be head of admin and finance and all the rest of it, as comes with running a business. So yeah, I find that's really, really interesting. And so you spoke about resilience before and how that sort of helped you through. What were some of the things that sort of really got you through that period of time? Because I know you're out on the other side now. It's started, it's really established. You're working with some great clients now. So what do you think were some of the biggest differences for you? I know when we started working together that, really sort of started to catapult your growth in your business.
I suppose the quality of my coaching was something that started to really shine, and my clients were giving me good feedback and then referring me, and it was organic referrals that really kicked off my business growth. This was before I joined Amy's tribe, and I had quite a few referrals going on. I was quite excited about that, but I also knew that it was only going to go so far. And that I needed to kickstart my online profile. I needed my referred clients and existing clients to be able to look at me and when they did refer me, be able to say, have a look at her online or read some of her, look at her positioning. And, without that proof, it may have just all died. So that was important. I had to look out for something new to really propel my business. And I value authenticity. And it's very important to me in my own work and how I live my life that I practice what I preach. And so if I'm working with clients on growth mindset and on positive psychology and on wellness and well-being, and absolutely aware that I'm going to have days that are not okay and times in my life where I do drop the ball and let things go and but to try and bring myself back in the same way that I encourage my clients to. That's very important for my own sense of self-esteem and confidence, as well as for my clients to go, well, I'm watching my coach do it. That's inspiring as well. And she is what she says,
Yeah, that's the only way to be. Yeah, no, that's great. And I think you touched on some really important things there around sort of stepping into the role of what you need to be for your clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, brilliant. And I know LinkedIn was one of the things that we worked on together when it comes to sort of building that online presence and that brand. So I'd just be curious to hear from you, like for many people that I speak to, sometimes there's a bit of imposter syndrome around LinkedIn where they think, well, I'm not professional enough to be on there, or like, who's going to listen to me, or like, is it worth it? Like, what if my ideal clients are on there or not? And so I'd just love to hear from your experience. What has that done for you in your business, and how has that made you feel as a coach and a business owner?
It's been remarkable, the difference it's made to my business and my life, really, if I go that far, because I wasn't really using LinkedIn before I joined your tribe. And I was I suppose I had a few posts only. And then when I joined the support group every Wednesday, I learned so much, by listening. And I'm a huge fan of support groups in all aspects of life. Yeah. And I'm a big proponent of group and team coaching as well. I'm a qualified team coach. And I really do believe in the power of collaboration and people working together. So when you and I met and you talked about the structure of how the program works, and that every Wednesday we had the opportunity to be together, and then we had the platform as well of on Facebook and other forms where we could actually share and the pitfalls and the highs and the wins and the losses, that was really significant. So I listened on the Wednesdays. It took me a little while to do my first post. I was very nervous.
What were you most nervous about?
Oh, exactly what you were saying. Like, who do I think I am? Some guru of knowledge. And kind of after the first post, and I did get a lot of likes and comments, and I was like, oh, well, that went well. Getting that confidence really did come from the group. Yeah. Remember, I did my first post and went for a long run and thought, I can't look at what's going to happen.
Head in the sand, like, oh.
Like, just nobody comments, nobody likes, and that's okay. Just
wait for the crickets.
Exactly, crickets. Yeah. And so I went for a long run, came back, and I'm like, oh, there's some reactions. And from that first post, I did start to grow, and even to the point of videos from, I don't know if I had maybe 15 connections before I joined the tribe to over 650 now, and something like 680 followers or something close to that. So the network has grown, and I've really learned so much from others and edited my work to be better quality and mix it up a little bit by following the program that you set out. I did go week by week on the program, and I learned an enormous amount. And I love the fact that I could kind of watch the video twice, have the double screen and kind of be doing it as you were saying it and listening to your interviews. So it was a very comprehensive course for me, and it worked. I'm a good, participant and partner in your course because it did make a huge impact to me and built my clientele as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I was just going to say, I know you had clients reaching out to you and other, partners and things as well that sort of came out of the woodwork for you as well when this started to happen. So what has been the impact for you in terms of, say, the amount of clients that you're working with now compared to when we got started?
So I started off with 4, network coaching clients that built to 8 and that is now at 10. So I have 10 private one-to-one clients that I work with usually every fortnight. We have a session. I have a 8 session package or a 12 session package. Most of my clients now are taking the 12, which is a great sign, so I get more confident every time that happens. I'm also partnering with 2 other companies running training and facilitation workshops online. And one of them is based here in Singapore, and that is really thriving. And the clients are all over Asia, in China, and I've got India and the Philippines and Indonesia, pharmaceuticals, banks, logistics companies. And then alongside that, I'm working within education. So working in international schools, running training and facilitation workshops. I
think that's really awesome. And it's really awesome to hear that from those stats, you've effectively more than doubled your business.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And I still have a long way to go. I'm not at the point where I'm kind of, relaxing. I've still got a lot of work. I'm in the developmental stage of my business growth. But I'm certainly getting that proof, and the people reaching out to me and lining up work ongoing. So that gives me, more and more momentum as it goes.
Fantastic. And I know we sneakily raised your rates as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
So that's a good thing to have as well for moving forward. You can, continually be able to offer more value to your clients as well, and then grow your business as well, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. So I'd love to hear as well from your insights, Johanna, sort of knowing what you know now, and if you can kind of put yourself back in your shoes. Perhaps there's people listening to this that were in your shoes, where they had a couple of clients, but they were really kind of a little bit hesitant about starting to reach out to people that didn't know them, that were outside of their inner circle and maybe colleagues and friends and people that they knew in person, to now where you've actually done that. You've more than doubled your business and you're really on track for some really big growth this year. What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be to learn from others and work with others and partner with others, and in a way that is also focused on giving. So, not just taking from others or but really giving and like a real partnership. I think that's very, very important, because that can really help with, collaborating on workshops or coaching jobs, and also supporting each other, because it can be quite, a weird situation when you've been working in a company in a big staff team, and next minute you're on your own and you're like, it's a little bit different working on my own, and I'd love some company here and someone to bounce ideas off. So developing partnerships is essential. Following through with your experience and personal experience and work experience, and trying to find what that is. And that might take some sessions with a coach yourself to really find out what that is as well. I suppose in terms of the business side, outsource and get some help, and, talk to people in your friendship groups and your colleagues from the past, and obviously get some help with some of the admin and the tricky stuff as well. And really, develop your own sense of resilience. stepping back up every day and going, okay, I've got this, and you know, whether that takes putting something on the bathroom mirror that, you know, a quote, a reminder, an image or visual, or a poem, or whatever it is that works for you, to kind of keep your sense of self strong, because it's a big thing to have career changes at this time of my life and other people's lives, and it takes a certain you know, intimate support from yourself as well as from those around you.
Fantastic. I love that. Sort of having that growth mindset, getting help, being unafraid to ask for help, I think is a big one for a lot of people out there. Sometimes we can have that kind of independence armor on, where we think because we're coaches and consultants, we've got all the answers, or we should have all the answers, when I know that, you know, the most elite athletes in the world and everyone else, they all have coaches as well. So I think it's a really good thing to sort of get that help, get that support, like you said, which is awesome. And I'd love to hear from you as well, Johanna, around what you're most looking forward to, say, over the next 12 months, like as your business starts to grow. I know you're working with some really great clients at the moment. So what are you most looking forward to in your business over the next 12 months or so?
The actual work, it's quite interesting. I mentioned that, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the admin side of business, which I am working on delegating, and I've just taken on a new platform as well to make life a bit easier, where I've integrated my invoicing, payment system, scheduling, you know, all my feedback, testimonials can all be captured in one place. And if a client changes the time and date of our planned session, that's a simple and very professional process now, thank goodness. So that's going to make life a bit easier.
You've got I'm really
exactly, yes. And I'm really looking forward to the actual work. I really enjoy it. I like learning from people, and I really get a kick out of the change that I can offer, and the knowledge that I can share. And in every single coaching session or facilitation, there's a beginning where we articulate what's going to happen, and also at the end where I hear the wrap up and feedback on how things have changed within that hour or 3-hour workshop or webinar. It's not about me, it's about what happened in that time for both of us, but most importantly for me as a facilitator and coach for my client. And that change really impacts me. I feel like I'm adding value, and I feel like I have meaning in my job, and I feel that in the next 12 months, if I can get that sort of meaning, as well as the lifestyle that I talked about earlier, you know, that balanced, be with my family and my children, in my, you know, with my structure of my my own company, and have a whole sort of happy, healthy life with enough, and obviously my income growing even beyond. At the moment, I'm very comfortable, but I'd like it to grow further, so that I can even provide even more fantastic opportunities for my children and myself.
Yeah, I love that. The value that you bring to your clients just really shines through as well. So it makes it really easy, you know, for people to say, like, I want to work with Johanna, because you can just see how much you do care. So I think that's a really important thing. And it's great, obviously, as a coach, you get fulfilled and you have that level of impact, as well as the income and the lifestyle that goes with it as well, which is really, really awesome to see. And I'd be curious as well, Johanna, there are a ton, as you know, as well as I do, there are a ton of people out there, and I'm sure you've experienced this in your restaurant business as well, of people that can say, like, I can help you grow your business or launch your business, or help you get clients online. And so I'd just love to hear from your perspective of being a part of the program and getting to know the tribe in there as well. What were some of the things that you thought were different about the program, say, to perhaps other programs you've done in the past?
I think it was the multiple access points in that the program offered for me.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned earlier, the group sessions were highly valuable. I actually volunteer here in Singapore as a support facilitator for different women's groups in Singapore. And it's a voluntary role I've had for a long time. So I really value support groups, and that Wednesday session was remarkable. I love the fact that I could jump online any time of the day and ask a question, a tech question, or something about my post, or something about LinkedIn that I wasn't, I remember I asked a very basic question once, and by the time I woke up the next morning, I'm like, I've actually sorted it. But the fact that there was that freedom to say any question is okay. We are all learning together. We are all supporting each other. The fact that I could put my posts on the Facebook group and then within the tribe get comments and likes, and then give that back to my supporting coaches as well, the tech assistants and LinkedIn assistants, also the network that I've developed. And also, I'm going to add my fourth here, learning from you, Amy, and through your journey, and how positive and supportive you've been in my journey. And sort of, I've been amazed at your resilience, like every Wednesday, I'm like, how does she do it? How does she stay so, together? And, really positive and supportive and bright and knowledgeable. And you share your journey with case studies and examples. I remember a few moments where you'd say, oh, yes, I remember that stage of my development as well. And this is what I tried and it didn't quite work. And then I tried this, and who else would like to share? So you made us feel very, I suppose, safe to ask questions, to seek support, and to say, and to be vulnerable as well, to say, I'm not feeling great. I don't know where to go next. And that was a common thread with some of us, wasn't it? Like, I don't know what to do. And people felt very safe. And you really did. I would finish every session with, that was good. I feel better. Yeah. So there's multiple support, and my positioning, you helped me kind of deal with that frustrating part of my development as well. So there are so many things. How long have we got?
It's awesome to hear. And thank you so much for sharing your journey, because I know anyone listening to this who, whether they've been really experienced in business like you have, or whether they're just starting out in business for the first time, I think they're going to get a lot of value and insights just from what you've shared and your journey as well. I really love seeing your business grow as fast as what it has as well. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all of your support. Hugely grateful for all that I've learned. Thank you.
Thanks, Johanna. Just lastly, where can people contact you if they want to reach out to you and learn more about what you do?
Well, funnily enough, on LinkedIn, and also reach out on LinkedIn. Also, I have a website, beyondcoaching.biz. I have my own LinkedIn company page as well. That would be, they're probably the two best ways to grab me, via my website or the LinkedIn profile.
Fantastic. LinkedIn's the place to be, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day. What time's the restaurant opening up behind you?
So it's just about to open. We open at 10:30 in Singapore time, weekdays, and 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, 7 days a week. And I've owned this baby for 9.5 years on my own, and hopefully the same in the future. So I'm proud that we're still here today, and 22, bring it on. Yeah, love it. All right, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thanks, Amy. Lovely to talk to you.